boys and girls, it's Miss Lisa, your art teacher. I hope you miss me as much as I miss you. I'm here today to do an art project with you. It's going to be inspired by the sculptor Alberto Giacometti. Your teacher is going to be sending you a PowerPoint presentation about sculptures and a little information sheet about Alberto Giacometti, the artist and sculptor. A sculpture is a three-dimensional form. I brought some of my sculptures to share with you so you could see what a sculpture is. This is a sculpture I made out of paper mache. He's a three-dimensional form. That means I can see all around him. I could even see below him. That's a three-dimensional form. This is a sculpture, another three-dimensional form. I can see all around it, even if it was standing still. I could walk around it and see all sides and the top. And if I hold it up, I can see the bottom. It's a geometrical sculpture made out of cardboard. This is another sculpture. This is a bronze sculpture. And this is also a three-dimensional form because I can see all around it. This is a foil sculpture form, which is something we're going to be making today. I can see all around it, which makes it a three-dimensional form. What we're going to need for today's art project, I'm sure you have at home. We're going to need some foil. We're going to need a piece of cardboard. This came from a box that was delivered yesterday. It doesn't have to be a special piece of cardboard. Anything lightweight. It's going to be the platform for your sculpture. Our sculptures are going to be very lightweight, so it doesn't need to be anything very heavy. You're going to need a piece of construction paper, any color, preferably a lighter color, like yellow would be very good. I'm going to send you a piece of paper in your email from the teacher, which is going to show different positions that a stick figure can hold. You're going to need a ruler, a pencil, and a Sharpie. And last, you're going to need a scissor. Alberto Giacometti became famous by drawing stick figures and transforming them into sculptures. So we are going to do a sculpture today that's inspired by Alberto Giacometti. It's not going to be the same, but we're inspired by him. We liked it so much we want to do something similar. So we're inspired by his artwork, one of his forms that I made, and another. So what we need to start is we need to get a piece of foil. So I'm going to take a piece that's about 1.5 feet maybe. That's about 1 foot, maybe a half. That's the size we're going to need. We're going to take a black black Sharpie, and we're going to mark the foil. Up at the top, we're going to take a line about 1/3 in and put it on a diagonal going inward. And we're going to do the same on the other side, about 1/3 in, the diagonal going inward. Okay? I'm going to go to the middle of the foil and draw 2 lines from end going in towards the middle, the right side going in towards the middle, leaving the center plain. So I'm only going in about 1/3 and 1/3, and they are straight lines. Now I'm going to do 1 long straight line going up from the bottom center. What I have just done is I've divided a body into sections. This section is going to be my head. This is going to be one of the arms. This is going to be the other arm. And this is going to be the legs. Leg and leg. I'll be sending a template like this in the email to give you an example of what you need to do. Now that I've divided, and this is the center, which is the torso. The torso is the center part of your body. Here is your torso. Okay, so now we're going to need our scissor because we want to cut our foil on the lines that we just made. Cut in, cut in, cut in. Foil is very delicate, so be a little careful if you can. All right, so now with all the sliced cuts in my foil, kind of looks like a transformer man. What we need to do is form a body. So I'm going to take his arm and I'm going to squish towards the center of that section. Kind of created an arm. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Very carefully, because I do not want them to separate from the main sheet. I'm going to do the same thing down at the bottom with the legs. Just kind of squish it together, both legs. So this is kind of what I have now. What does he look like? Kind of like SpongeBob. All right, now this is the head, so that should be round. So let's just make a little ball. All right, does this look like it actually looks very cool, but this is not what we're making today. We want to form this more into a human body or a Giacometti body by squeezing the arms together, giving it a better form, both arms, gently, not to rip. Create his head a little rounder. Make his body a little bit more firm by squishing everything towards the center and squeezing his legs together. So now I have a form that's more like a human form, and it resembles the type of sculptures that Alberto Giacometti would make. He used to love watching people walk so he could see the different positions their bodies would make or take on. Some people think that his sculptures are actually the people, but he himself said it's really the shadows that they cast. Okay, so I have a body here, a form, a sculpture, and I want to put it into some type of a position. So I think I'm going to make him, I'll make him running. So if he's going to run, I want one arm going forward, bent a little up, and I'll have one arm going back. That's also bent up. So kind of looks like he's running. One leg is going forward and bent. This other leg is going straight back. Does that look like he's running? A little bit, but that's okay, I like it. So we need to mount him on something. So that's where our cardboard comes in. We're going to take our cardboard, and we only need a small piece. So I'm going to quickly measure 4 inches from the edge. So this is 4, and I'm going to mark it with my Sharpie. This is 4 inches from the edge. I don't need it this long. I'm only going to make it 5 inches long, so I'm going to need to mark that as well now. So I'll start at the edge of my cardboard, and I'll measure 5 inches up. So it'll be a 4 by 5 piece of cardboard. And then I'll use my Sharpie to make a darker line. Very simple. Now I'll need my scissor to cut. This is a 4 by 5 piece of cardboard. Okay, I don't need this anymore. I'll put this on the side. Now we have the construction paper because I'd like it to look pretty. I don't want to have the cardboard showing as my mount. So I'm going to use this as the template. And I'm going to cut all around. So I traced it onto the yellow paper, and now I'm going to cut along the lines where I traced. So it'll be the same size as my cardboard. So when I cover the cardboard, I need a glue stick. I might not have told you that at the beginning. So if you don't have a glue stick, can you get one now? Oh, no. I'm now going to need to glue the yellow piece onto the cardboard. So I'll need a glue stick. I might not have mentioned the glue stick in the supply list, but I'm telling you now that we're going to need a glue stick. And I'm going to rub the glue along the cardboard and just mount the yellow piece of paper on top of it. So it looks pretty, okay? Now, where's my figure? This is my running man. I'm going to bend his leg a little bit, make it look better. So I want to mount him onto this cardboard piece, and I'm going to mount him towards the end. And I'll tell you why in a second. So here he is. I'm going to mount him right there. So I'm going to use my glue stick again, but I'm going to glop it really on a lot. So like there's something for this foil man to stick to. I don't know if you could see how I glopped it on. This way the foil will stick to this guy and he'll stay here. When Giacometti makes his sculptures, for some reason their feet are very, very big. So feel free to make big feet. It's okay. It's okay with me if it's okay with you. I think I need a little more glue. All right, now, I'll let that dry a little bit. What I want you to see is there's a shadow cast behind him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to trace the shadow that is cast by my sculpture. Remember what I told you, that most people believe that Giacometti's sculptures are sculptures of the human body, but he said that it's actually the shadows for which they cast. So we're doing both. We're going to make the body out of foil, and we're also going to draw their shadows. So while that's drying, I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to color in the shadow that I've outlined. Because now as I move it, the shadow changes. So I'm going to carefully color in the shadow of my sculpture. Trying not to hit where I glued it, because it needs a little time to really stick. Okay. If you don't have a Sharpie, use a crayon. If you don't have cardboard, find anything. Anything you can mount your little man onto. What's important is that you have fun. Oh, I'm sorry, that's my dog. He's barking at whoever's coming to the door. Remember, I'm home just like you. I have two dogs. I have Gordon and Bella. They're both at the front door right now. Okay, so here I have my little foil man in a position that's movement. I haven't really formed him yet because I want him to dry, but he kind of looks nice like that. It looks like he's kicking a football. And here's the shadow that he cast. So here you have it, a Alberto Giacometti inspired foil man and shadow. So the things I want you to remember from today's lesson is, number one, Giacometti started his sculptures by using stick figures. And what are stick figures made from? Lines, straight lines, bent lines, but lines, okay? And lines are one of the elements of art. Then we also created a form, and a form is another element of art. And from that form, we created a three-dimensional figure. Three-dimensional means we can see all around it. If it was two-dimensional, would I be able to see around it? No. This is two-dimensional. If this was hanging on the wall, all I could see is what's on the front. That's a two-dimensional form, two-dimensional image, I'm sorry, and this is a three-dimensional form. And I'd like you to remember about Alberto Giacometti, because he's a really talented artist, and I think you would enjoy him very much if you had been in his day and seen his work. I hope one day you can get to a museum and see some of his sculptures. But until then, we're going to make foil men. Enjoy this project. Enjoy your art. Always keep art into your life. And I will see you next week. This week is Sculpture Week, so I'm going to ask you to please save your toilet paper rolls, your paper towel rolls, and little boxes, because we're going to be building sculptures. Have a great day, have a great week, and I'll see you next time. And always remember that art rules. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.